Good morning. It's Saturday, August 15th, and it's hot in Oklahoma. But you know what that means. We're going to do a little update. I'm going to show you around the garden. Then we're going to get right into subscriber submissions. We've got a good one. Pearson in an update. Bear's bringing in loads of okra. I like your new guard dog. I need a few of those in my garden. Bear came across his Jing orange okra. Thought he ought to try it out. It's a little behind the rest of them, but it looks like it's doing just fine. He must have lost his pruning shears. But he's still getting nice tomatoes when he can find them. And thank you, Bear. Now, if you remember, the heavy prune we did the other day did not affect the tomatoes. Except, come here. These guys are dwindling down. I'm barely holding him. It looks like it's traumatic, but he's very strong and slippery. They're a very pretty bug. All right, go away. There you go. Art's been harvesting out of his garden, and he stumbled across a volunteer pumpkin and this mystery melon.
It's the first waterlope of the season. Last year I picked them when they were still green. I let them get a little riper this year just to see what they're like. Oh yeah, this one's ripe. This one's ready.
Art, I think we have to check in to see if watermelon and cantaloupe will actually cross-pollinate, but that thing looks great. If anybody has an idea what this is, leave a comment down below. Well, it looks like the deer have found the sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes along the fence have been chewed up pretty good. Les sent in an update on his raised bed. Your okra looks like it's doing really well, and you're still getting yellow squash. I really think your grandma's trick on that late frost had something to do with what has happened to your tomatoes. Oh my goodness. These are awesome. Those are some good looking tomatoes, Les. Thanks for your update. Looks like you're gonna be making salsa. Now the pole beans, we had some pretty good beans off it early this spring. Then we went a little time where there wasn't much on it. Now it is just loaded. Sometimes you just have to give it a little time. Some of the bush beans are still producing pretty good. Some of the bush beans been eaten up by bugs. That's what happens when you're not using any pesticides. The peppers are looking pretty good. Our first time growing okra, and I think we're doing all right. We're getting 2 or 3 off a day. Our purple Cherokee okra was planted a little behind, and it's now coming on really well. The deer have made it inside the garden. They sure do like the sweet potatoes. The 5 things we can plant in August. We got beets up. Look at that. We've got kale. And lettuce. Lettuce and more lettuce. Oh, and some more lettuce. And some more lettuce. All right, well, let's take a look and see what we have for carrots and peas. Remember, you put a paper bag down instead of a board to help the carrots germinate. Look at that. I think we're just gonna leave that lightly on there unless we get a little wind to blow it off. It is still pretty hot today. They're starting to come up. Let's see what else we've got. Look at that. Peas are coming up all through here. We've got germination. We've got peas coming up. How many days has it been since we planted these? Leave a comment down below. Part of our seed saving strategy, we opened up a spaghetti squash and the seeds were starting, so we thought we ought to bring them out here and see what we get. And it's already out of the ground. Since we did so well along this fence, we thought we'd give it another shot. Christy is a new member from Iowa. She sent in a terrific shot of her Coleus in a container. She also thought we might be impressed by the size of this wild mushroom. Look at that compared to her shoe. Thank you, Christy. Now, I told you I was holding my breath, see if we got any cabbages. It was getting dark, it was about to rain a couple nights ago, so I came in here and cleaned it all up. We have several other smaller ones that are coming on nicely, but I was able to get 2 nice cabbages. If it wouldn't have been dark and raining, I would have filmed it, but here they are. This is the first time I've ever got a cabbage that looks like this. We are so blessed. David sent in an update on his container garden. His peppers and okra, his cantaloupe, and his cherry tomatoes are thriving. Even in the container though, those squash bugs, they did a number on his squash. David, thanks for touching base, and we really appreciate your updates. If the turmeric on the outside has any bearing on what's underneath the ground, we ought to have some decent turmeric this year. Teresa is a new member, and she sent in a shot of her best tomato of the year so far. Wow, that is beautiful. Now that is a sandwich. We are still competing with the critters. See, one of the things we look for is this leaf. It's still going and it's still attached. When it's ready to come off, it's just gonna pop off like the other day. So we'll keep an eye on that. Jim's been harvesting some of his stuff. He likes it fermented. He sent in a shot of his first kimchi. That all looks tasty. Thanks for the update. The beans are gonna get into the tomatoes. It's the other good thing about having a guide wire. Well, it's not quite ready to go. Thanks for coming to the garden. If you want to be a member of the Garden With Me team and have your stuff highlighted, leave a comment down below or go over to Facebook and message me. Anyhow, that's the short tour of the garden. I need to turn some compost before it gets any hotter. Hey, look at this. God, I love the garden. If you'd like to see how we make hot compost, click that link right there and it'll show you from start to today. Okay, until next time, take care of yourself, take care of your family. God bless you, and I'll see you later. Come on, let's plant. Let's go plant garden.